All right, here we go. So we're back on the analog cameras. Part one of this video, we talked about the BNC connections and how we like to make those compression fittings on the RG59 coax. So now we're going to talk about the two conductor power that also is it comes with the Siamese cable. Okay, so here is the two conductor, positive, negative. And this will essentially feed our analog camera once we're set and determined and we know what type of voltage that this camera requires. I don't believe it's going to say on the side here. Actually it does, so stand corrected. If you look on this one here, and if you don't find it on the camera, you should be able to find that on the cut sheet. That may be hard to see here in the video, but this camera does specifically say it wants 12 volts DC power. So we've experienced this in the past. You know, a lot of times we have the electronics power supplies and we just don't pay attention to, or we forget that those power supply panels are capable of doing different types of voltage. So you may have one that is preset from the manufacturer and it may be 24 volt DC power, but this camera only can accept 12 volts DC power. So when you go to hook that up, essentially, you more than likely just blew out however many cameras that you have being supplied power from that power supply. So previous experience, we've had a scenario where we lost probably close to 100 cameras. All right, so very important that we pay attention to that, because if we don't, that becomes a full loss by SIS and we're replacing cameras for free. So, all right, so let's talk about the different fittings. Typically, these analog cameras will come with something like this here, which is like a barrel fitting. And on the other side, the camera side will be the same type of barrel, but it'll be a female connection. If I can grab this, I'll show you in the video. There we go. So there's the female side, there is the male side. And essentially, once you have verified the correct voltage, meaning in this scenario, 12 volts DC, we plug it straight in, voila, we're off and running. And so let's go ahead and unplug this and let's talk about how we can determine to verify that this is the correct voltage before we hook it up. So I'm going to set my meter to 12 volts DC power, or I'm sorry, to DC voltage reading. And the way that we can verify if the barrel setting's already been connected, in my example, I've got a power supply on my right hand here, which is the black cabling. I've got it wire nutted to the male barrel fitting, right? So if all these connections are set and done and you just want to double check, make sure what you have is correct before you hook it up, we're going to take the positive leg of our meter, insert it into the barrel, and we're going to take the negative side and we're going to put it on the outer connection point of the barrel. And at that point here, I can read on my meter that I do have 12 volts DC power. I will try to show you. See if I can hold that on there. Nope, that didn't do it. Let's try it one more time. There we go, I think we got it. So you can now see 12 volts DC power is present. Okay, so that pretty much concludes for this video here. That was what I wanted to show you, is how you can verify that voltage if the barrel connection's already set and terminated. And then secondly, just being always aware of knowing what type of voltage you're feeding out to what that camera requires. All right, guys, thank you.